What's everybody? My name is B-Maxime, aka Brandon. This is episode 141 of the Anime Dojo. I'm alongside Chris and Deon. Gentlemen, how you doing?
Horrible.
Chilling out, bro. Chilling.
All right. A rare, how can I say, Friday podcast. We don't normally do a Friday. With circumstances kind of around, we had to move stuff around. So this will be the rare Friday one. We've done a Monday one. We've done a Tuesday one. Like Chris said before we started the podcast, we've done every day except the weekend. So we'll one day we'll probably end up doing the weekend. We'll have all 7 days covered. We have a couple things to talk about. First off, we have two live actions coming from Netflix. I'll mention both. I'm gonna let Dion rant a little bit because
Hold
both of
on, let
these are
me
something.
just take a deep breath before you say this, bro, because you would not let me know ahead of time what's going on.
No,
So
I
I'm
won't because I want your genuine
ooh,
reaction to both of
sigh
these.
real quick.
I want your genuine reaction to both of these because both of these are kind of like, oh, these are tentpole things. Why are we doing this? But I'll leave it there. And the second thing we're going to talk about Crunchyroll. They are doing the thing that probably shouldn't be done, but they're doing it anyway. They're raising their prices. We'll talk about that, and we'll talk about why. Then we'll go through the charts for week 4 of Anime Corner and the Reddit chart, and then we'll get to our episodes. We're mainly going to stick with Hell's Paradise. If we get both of those pretty quickly, we will do Fire Force as well. Episode 16 and 17 of Hell's Paradise, season 3, and episode 16 of Fire Force. So, gentlemen, let's get this started. We're going to talk about this first. Netflix is making 2 live actions, and one is a live action for Sword Art Online. The other is Gundam. A Gundam live action movie is also being produced. And it's going to be starring, the Gundam live action movie is going to be starring Sydney Sweeney and Nathan, I think Centenario. Actually, I'll do the reverse. I'll do the reverse. Chris, what do you think about both these live actions, and what's your reaction?
Okay, let me start off with Gundam.
Let me mute.
And,
Sorry.
okay, as much as I like Gundam and the vast story that it tells, they need to stay away from Gundam. Gundam is such a rich story, and bro, that is one of the shows you cannot skip anything because it has so much detail and so much like bro, it's so deep. Like I'm really scared Netflix is gonna fuck it up. Like, oh, I'm sorry. Look, I'm in a different mood. Look, I don't want
No,
I don't want them to mess this up, bro. Because Gundam, especially like my favorite one is Armed Blooded Brothers, bro. That's bro. Them bros went in. So
now I will say
now
this:
if they do their
they
own
did
story, yeah.
they did say they said Gundam live action movie. They didn't say which version of Gundam, so I don't know if it's from the beginning or
Oh, then it'll
whatever.
be the original.
Yeah, most likely. Continue, Chris. By the way, I didn't want to cut you off, but I was going to mention that.
No, but okay. See, the fact that they're doing the original, I'm scared
Yeah.
because that's one of the
Exactly.
ones. Yeah, bro. Like you see, like we had an agreement, bro. As long as you don't touch the old ones, like they messed up Bleach. They know not to touch Dragon Ball. It's like, bro, why would like don't do any of the old ones. Don't, like that's like instant taboo.
And then,
Go
what are
ahead,
your
bro.
thoughts on Sword Art Online? Is the other
Now, see,
one.
the Sword Art Online has kind of already been done, in my opinion. Because I mean, right now it really doesn't get any better than Ready Player One. Because
I knew
I
you were
mean,
gonna mention that crap.
bro,
Sorry, excuse my
that's the
language.
thing though. It doesn't get any better than that.
I,
Ready Player One is the live action Wreck-It Ralph. But all right, keep going. My bad.
But that's what I'm saying, bro. Like I think, like look. I've said before, like I'm fine with Netflix making animes. The live actions, they can be done. Like in my opinion, they can be done when they're done right. But the older ones, Sword Art Online, it's almost like you grasping for too much all at once. Like that's too much of a stretch. Like just period.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I mean, I want to hear both of y'all. I want to hear both of y'all opinions, and I actually was going to start with Chris because Chris is probably going to be the more. I say sane, but I say sane, but also kind of somebody who can see both sides of it. This is gonna be fun. I'm gonna let you do it, Deon. Go ahead. Give me both reactions to both and why. Deon, you have the floor.
First of all, what are we doing?
Yep, there we go.
Bro, if y'all don't get your corny, no talent, no creativity, no skills, no marketing ability, no origination, no, bro, what are we doing? Stop. Sword Art Online has already died off as in the popularity as it is, for as peak of an anime as it could be, and as far as the VR related isekais. Bro, leave it alone. I'd rather you do Log Dot Horizon or something. Leave Sword Art alone, bro. It tugs at heartstrings. You're gonna make it corny like you did Bleach and Full Metal. Leave it alone. Just leave it alone, bro. Like at the end of the day, bro, the story can be portrayed. Yes. Easily. Say, oh, you do One Piece and Avatar, the story can be portrayed easily. Hell, half the characters, 90% of the characters are human. There's no real need to like be super budget creative, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you're gonna find a way to mess it up. You're Netflix. That's what you do. I think Netflix literally stands for mess up original content. That's what Netflix stands for.
Oh man. Oh man.
Like, we can't get anything original recreated. Good. Name one. Name one, and I'll Swiss cheese it and put all type of holes through it. There's nothing. Nothing. I hear people talking about Zom 100. Why? Because it's trash. Why are people saying that it's good? It's trash. Fight
Wait,
me
the
if
live
you want
action
to. The live
or the original?
action,
I haven't seen. I haven't seen Zom 100 live action.
it's trash. What? It's worse. You know how I am about One Piece and how the plot is all over the. It's worse than One Piece.
Yeah.
It's worse than One Piece, bro. If you can't convey the storyline without changing things, don't convey the storyline. Leave it the heck alone.
Oh wow, we got 3 of those
All
already.
right, good.
Yep.
You said you got a question. Oh, so yeah, just leave it alone. I don't think you can do it. Gundam. The
Leave
only
it the
way
hell
I'm enjoying Gundam, the only way I'm enjoying Gundam is if Michael Bay creates it.
That ain't happening. That ain't happening. That's
The
definitely not
only way
happening.
I'm enjoying Gundam, bro. Other than that, leave it alone.
That ain't
You don't
happening
have the
because
Sony budget, bro. Leave it alone. Leave it alone, bro. Leave it alone.
see, and here, ladies and gentlemen, I'll put this out there for you. Put this out there. It's funny. It's 3:53 on a Friday afternoon. I'll put this out there for you. This is the normal energy I would get on a Tuesday night. But here's the funny part. I don't agree. I don't disagree with both these gentlemen. I don't. The thing I will say, between the two, the one I'm more inclined to watch, Sword Art, because at least, like Deon mentioned, it's all human based for the most part. Human characters, human story. You can do that very well. And I will
That
give
was Bleach, and look at it.
yes, bad,
That was Yu
bad.
Yu
There's a
Hakusho, and look at it.
bad. Fair enough.
Bro, you let Walking Dead do better zombies than Zom 100.
It did. Fair. Awesome.
in
And
the
you
two
really could have just,
thousands.
bro, you really just could have used the same cast or just put that in an episode of Walking Dead and it would have been better.
Oh,
Probably would.
you have the blueprint for zombie movies laid out in front of you. Do we not? Do we not watch American made movies? Like, is that the thing? Are we getting Japanese creators to come over to Netflix and create movies? Because I love Japanese culture. Please don't take this as a shot. Whoever's listening, I want you to know I love the movies. I do, but I
Wait.
know.
Hold on. You bringing something up, and I'm gonna piggyback on what you just said. Chris, do you remember we did a couple weeks ago? We did that story about the head of what company was it? Was it Disney? Was it Disney or was it one of the other? It was one of the major ones. He basically said that we could learn from. Oh no, here
Oh,
it
you
is.
talking about Warner,
Right,
the guy from
Yeah, here we go.
DC?
Yep, yep.
DC. So DC's head said in an interview directly, and I'm bringing this up because you brought it up, Chris. You brought it up, Deon, that we can learn from the Japanese way of doing things to make our stuff better.
See, but
Problem
here's the
is,
thing, bro.
go ahead.
Here's the thing with that. That's manga and anime. These are movies. Name one Japanese movie that you can watch 100% through as an American, not as a person into Japanese movies, as an American, because this is Netflix we're talking about. As an American, name something that you can watch, a Japanese movie that you can watch from beginning to end without being like, dang, that's kind of corny, bro. Name one. I'll wait.
Wait, you said, and ask the question again?
Name one Japanese movie
Uh-huh.
that you can watch from beginning to end
Uh-huh.
without saying, dang, bro, that's kind of corny. Those graphics kind of trash. They could have did better with that. This wardrobe is kind of weak.
Wait, you're asking me to identify a Japanese movie that's that?
That's good that you can watch without saying any of those things.
Oh.
We can't.
I love how Chris
Japanese
said, "Oh." I love how Chris said, "Oh."
Japanese movies are inherently corny. That's their niche. That's what it is. You watch a movie from Japan, it's gonna look like it came out in 1922. That just is what it is. It's
So
gonna
my
look like a
question,
bunch of cosplayers running around on screen. That's not what I want from an American-based Netflix movie.
so okay, going back to the point I brought up. So why then, and I'll say again, why then does the DC president head say we can learn something from this to make
That's
our stuff better?
manga. He's talking manga versus
But he,
comic book sales. He's in his feelings because people stop buying DC whack ass comics because you can't keep a storyline together. Sorry, it's Friday. Remember that.
it is Friday. We're look at me. This is gonna be, and it's funny. You did say we did at the beginning of this that we could ever do an unhinged podcast. Oh, this is gonna get very unhinged.
Oh, it's Friday. It's Friday unhinged. It's Friday unhinged.
Friday's
You better
unhinged,
shut
bro,
it
because
down.
it's
Brandon, you
going
better shut it
down.
down, Brandon.
We are getting a little, but continue, Deon. Before
Bro,
continue.
if you look at the storylines and plots of mangas, what do they have in common? Consistency from beginning to end. There's a beginning, there's a end, there's a character. This character does not change throughout 7 different versions of mangas. He's gonna have an arc. He may change during a different arc, but it's gonna be the same. Manga is gonna stay consistent. In comic books, we got 72 different versions of Captain America.
And then they want to label it as a different universe. Come on now.
We got 37 different versions of Spider-Man.
Same issue.
We got 67 different versions of Batman and 30 that we don't even know about yet.
Not to mention all the different actors that's played Batman too.
We've got 16 different variations of a single character across multiple movies. And then they joke about it.
Who was that one? Oh,
You got how many? Let me see. We got seven Punishers, 6 Hulks. We've got 2 Iron Man. We've got hell. We got 3 War Machines in the same Iron Man string.
yeah. Well, okay. I'll put it to you this way. I'll put it to you this way.
You
You
want to
ain't wrong.
compare yourself, bro?
You ain't wrong. But the thing that boggled my mind when me and Chris talked about this the first time was like, say what now? Why would he say that? But he also kind of was like, and even in the full article, I remember I read the full article. Basically, he's saying we could fix our DC side to make it more appealing. Problem
Nah,
is,
bro, it's a cop out because he lazy and don't want to do the work to actually make his products creditable and appealing to the masses. He wants to say, "Oh, these people buy manga more than they buy comic." Lies. You tell me anybody over 30 that hasn't had a comic book. Tell me, tell me anybody over 30 that hasn't seen a comic book, that hasn't read a comic book, hasn't owned a comic book.
I was gonna say you said scene at the beginning, so you said scene. I'll give you the scene. I'll give you at least everybody scene one. So I'll give you that. I will give you
So
that.
you tell me this, right? Manga, it just got popular. You know why? Because anime is now popular and people want
Correct.
to go see the better versions of anime. It's like watching a movie and hearing there's a book. The book's always going to be better. If you watch something from DC or Marvel, it's trash. Why would I want to go read the book?
Fair, fair, fair. I, it's funny, and I feel bad. We do this a lot, and I'll apologize right now, Chris. I feel bad for you because me and Deon are just going back and forth for a second. um,
My bad,
but
bro.
no, you're fine. I appreciate it because that kind of gets the point. So then, why are we getting all these live actions now? If my counts are
Because
correct in my
Netflix is
brain,
money hungry because they keep trying to buy too much stuff that they can't handle yet. And
Hey,
they trying to
Brandon,
be
get
don't
it.
worry
popular
about
so
me,
they
bro.
can be better than Crunchyroll.
Yeah, don't worry about me, bro. Because now I know we unfiltered. I'm ready.
But here's the thing: if my math's correct, and my math probably is partially correct, I think in the time we've done 140 something episodes, 141 episodes. In that time period, we've talked about at least 16 different live actions coming out this year. That in like the next 2 or 3 years, and at least a third are coming from Netflix. What does that tell you? Because that's kind of
And that's not
insane
to
to me.
mention the 20 that have already come out on Netflix before we even start talking about 'em.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
That
So
are all
now,
trash. Name one that's
so
good. I dare you.
so that's fair. I was I'm not gonna even I'm not gonna provoke you anymore because I was gonna say One Piece, but I'll leave that one alone.
No, no, no,
I
no,
will
no.
leave
You
that.
can say One Piece. You can say One Piece. I'll even let One Piece slide. You know
Okay.
why?
Why?
You know why? That's a series, not a movie.
That's not a movie. Fair. Uh,
It's a
Here's the
series,
thing.
not a movie, so you have more time to mess it up. And
Not to mention the actor did to earn your respect. Go ahead and let it be known.
the actor did
Fair.
earn my respect, bro. He dived into the culture, so I can't even put it on them anymore.
But but
It's
it, but it,
the.
but it's the
I
funny
still hate
part.
the plot, but
The plot, yeah, the plot's not. I will say the plot's not the best, but it gets to the point. The thing is, the thing that I think it comes back to, if you do live actions right and you get people that actually care about the source material, then everything will be fine to a point. I'm not gonna say it's perfect. I'm not gonna say it's even remotely gonna be the best thing ever. But the flip side of that coin, you said that the act, and we've talked about the actor for One Piece, the main guy who's playing Luffy, dives into the culture. Look at the flip side of that coin. Look at Ghost in the Shell. Probably one of the worst, not one of the worst, but the one of the worst ones where people
I
were
mean,
kind
but
of
look
like,
when Ghost in the Shell came out, bro.
that's fair. That's fair. That is
I
fair.
mean, we can't compare that to One Piece right now. I feel like I know where you're going with that, but look, Ghost in the Shell is like OG.
But it's funny. But fans hated the live action. Fans bemoaned the live action because of the way they cast
Bro,
it.
because they tried to overdo it in that one.
Yeah,
Because I mean, And then if y'all remember the controversy about that, I'm sorry, Deon, but if y'all remember the controversy about that they went as far as to try to ask the actress if they could alter her face on the movie just to make her look more Japanese,
more like the character.
Bro, now that is a freaking insult.
Correct.
That is an insult. Go find you a Japanese actress.
But now, and I'm gonna do a flip. I'm gonna do a whole flip 180 on the other side. And we're gonna finish off with this. We talk about Crunchroll because there's two things I need to talk about Crunchroll. So price hiking is one other story that kind of combines that. I'm gonna flip 180. Look at the Street Fighter movie. The Street Fighter cast for that movie.
Oh God, no, we not. No.
But
no.
let me explain. Let me explain. At least with the Street Fighter new movie, everybody you've cast at least looks somewhat like the character you're gonna play as, to a point. And
yeah, with all the CGI and makeup, I bet it does.
But also, I'm at least saying, at least also, you have the actors in certain places. You have certain actors in certain places, like the girl who's playing Cammy, the girl who's playing Chun-Li, the guy who's playing Guile is pretty much Guile in real life. He's a wrestler, by the way. So I'm gonna explain Cody Rhodes. That's kind of Roman Reigns is playing.
By the way, he's the worst looking character in that entire lineup.
Well, yeah, because the
way
they're gonna have to make his hair
like Guile, bro.
The way they have to make his hair and stuff look, I get that, but at least
they talked about John Claude.
At least they're taking the tact of we're trying to find people to match the characters enough. The exception to those rules, if Blanca is played by Jason Momoa, which
is
kind of like, okay, I get it's Blanca, you don't have to care about it.
But it's Blanca,
And then 50 Cent's playing Balrog, which is actually okay casting. If you think
he actually looks cool.
He looks pretty cool. So at least they're trying. Dan Haviki's played by the YouTuber, the podcast host. I forget the guy's name, but at least they're trying to fix their issues like that. They're not going to do the thing where they're just going to find people that can play the actor don't look nothing like the character, or have no sense of what the character has a feel to it. But I think the thing is with these live actions, do one or two in a year. Don't try to announce I think they have announced now 8 in the past year and a half, 2 years. What's next? If we're announcing 8 in the past 2.5 years, are we gonna?
Correct me if I'm wrong, Brandon. And Chris, you can chime in too. Sorry, B, did I cut you off?
No, you're good. Go ahead.
I don't think it's how many they're releasing that's the problem. I think it's the quality of it. Because if they were great, we wouldn't care. Give me more.
Yep.
Okay. So you're
basically saying trash.
So you're saying quality over quantity.
Yeah. Give me the quality. So with the Street Fighter movie, bro, I'm okay with that. But I was okay with the first one and the second one. People don't even mention the second one.
But see, the second one, a lot of people bemoan the first one.
Yeah, they do. But at the time for when it came out, bro, that was a good, realistic version. Mortal Kombat is a classic, bro. I can't hate on the way Mortal Kombat was done. Mortal Kombat has always been, to me, the originals, the best hands down live action adaptation that we have ever gotten. This new stuff, the new two ones that came out recently.
I'll give you the originals are more stronger than the old original Street Fighters. I will agree with Chris on this though, and I think Chris was about to say it. I think the new versions of Mortal Kombat now are more fun, but they stick to who the actors are. So they're not trying to go over they're not trying to be super cheesy, but they're also not trying to. They're trying to stay more in line with what the story is. To end this off, before we get to our control topic, I'll say this: Netflix, just slow down. Just slow down for a bit. Don't do anything more crazy. We also got we got the first little look at Sakamoto Days and how Sakamoto's going to look in live action. They did some teasers for that. We also have some other stuff coming out. But right now, if I'm Netflix, get through the WB sale.
Next.
Get through the WB sale and then go from there. Right now, y'all have announced so much stuff because I think they know that WB sales in the rearview mirror they need to pay off eventually. They want to make sure they can have that ready to go before they can do anything else.
Can I ask y'all a question?
Go
Shoot.
ahead.
With all of these that's coming out, bro, do you think they're adding they're aiming towards K dramas in these shows? Like, are they technically K dramas? Because if they're technically K dramas, they're better. That makes them a little better.
I
But
think
if
they
you're
have some.
calling them live action adaptive movies, they suck.
I'll let you answer that first, Chris. I yeah.
Okay. But just like this. The fact that they're making K-pop Demon Hummer, that's also going to be live action from Netflix. Kind of spells it out for you.
But that's what I'm saying. Like that one, yeah, I get that. But that's new. I'm talking about all the older anime ones that they have. The Bleach, Death Note, Yu Yu Hakusho, um, freaking Brotherhood Alchemist, all of
So
that
are you?
stuff.
So you
Okay.
basically saying you're basically saying if they're using all these older ones to kind of do a version of what K-pop Demon Hunter did, in a sense, make it that.
No. Like an actual K drama, like
Oh
Alice
yeah,
and
no.
Borderlands. Like if you're making it like a K drama, like, and I may be using the wrong terminology for that, but I know K dramas, right? Or J dramas, or whatever you want to call them. If you're
Yeah,
using these as an adaptation of that, then it makes the true adaptions a lot better to me than they are if I look at them like a movie.
if they're gonna do adaptations like that, like you're saying, a K drama or J drama, whatever you want to say, a telenovela, I'll put it that way for like that kind of like that side.
Mm-hmm.
No, I wouldn't want to see that because then you're just taking away from the source. Then you're just gonna make it
But that's
more
what I'm
drama
saying.
based.
The ones that we already have, do we classify them as K dramas or are they movies? Because if you classify them as K dramas, then the corniness, the lack of wardrobe, the lack of plot, the lack of
But
consistency in the
well,
storylines
let me answer
all
this.
makes
Let me answer this.
sense.
The only reason I would agree with you, and because it does make sense, is because of where they have been produced at.
Mm-hmm.
Netflix, they have thrown in money to pay it off and everything, but ultimately all those were produced across seas.
Mm-hmm.
So
Fair,
none
fair.
of I'm not sure if any of these shows besides One Piece or Avatar is actually filmed in American studios.
Or even studios with American-based
Yeah.
directors and
Well,
producers, and
well, and that's the thing. Like, I don't think going back to the stuff we just talked about, Gundam and Sword Art Online, I have a high hunch that's not gonna be made here in the States.
right. So if you do
Sakamoto,
Sword Art
so
Online as a K drama, it's beautiful.
Oh
oh
yeah,
yeah,
that'd be dope.
It's
that'd be perfect.
beautiful. If you do Sword Art Online as a movie, it's trash.
Yeah, yeah. Let's go from one weird situation to another,
Some
and
of
this
these
one's a little
cosplay
more.
movies, man. My bad. I
This
thought
is
I
a
was
little
muted.
more close to home. Let me get down to brass tacks with this one because it's actually kind of interesting. According to reports, anime updates, Crunchyroll subscription prices are rising effective today, which will be applied next billing cycle as of March 4th, 2026. Fan tier will go from $7.99 to $9.99 per month. Mega fan tier will go from $11.99 to $13.99 per month. Ultra fan tier from $15 a month to $17.99 a month. Uh, According to Anime Updates, they were going to send out an email to accounts on file as well as a news post on their website. Whether or not they will send you an app notification of the charges, that's not confirmed yet. All right. I hesitate, but I'm going to do this anyway. Chris, what do you think about this price hike?
This is the unfiltered version, right?
Go ahead.
Bro, they can shove this up their ass and they can wait till the water quench their nurse with this price hike. They really could. I'll tell you why. Because one, the price hike is so y'all can get more money to start paying for some of the higher prices that these studios want for the anime that y'all want to show. So two, if y'all would have went ahead and paid these people what they was asking for in the beginning, maybe I wouldn't have as much trouble as y'all have now. Thirdly, the fact that you're trying to do a price hike now, it says that y'all probably took out a loan at some point, and now you got to pay for it back. And lastly, I hope y'all don't lose any subscribers, because then Sony will close y'all down or sell y'all off to somebody too. Mm-hmm.
It's funny. You're not terribly wrong. The other problem with this, there's an issue of what do you call it? There's an issue of doing it to keep with the competition, but the competition's hasn't been there. Before I go into the rest of this, Deon, what do you think about?
real quick.
No, you're good. What do you think about Crunchyroll prices?
Crunchyroll's prices. Are we unhinged yet or no?
Go ahead.
Did we classify that for real?
Yeah, we did. We did.
Man,
Yeah,
fuck
you missed the whole
Crunchyroll, bro. Nah, bro. Honestly, I'm not mad at them. I'm disappointed. I'm not mad at them. I'm disappointed. Because from a business standpoint right now, you are top dog. You do whatever you got to do. You're not taking away profiles. You're not taking away sharing. You just add, $10. $10. A lot. It's a lot. But it's not crazy like Netflix did. They went from 5 to 20
That is fair. They did go from 5 to
with
20.
ads.
Yeah.
And they did get rid of their lowest tier.
They got rid of their lowest tier and they got rid of sharing, profile sharing.
Yep.
With
Okay.
Crunchyroll, you can add a homeboy, be like, hey, bro, owe me $10. I'll let you look. I'll let you, you know what I'm saying? You got a whole Crunchyroll account.
So here's the other thing I looked up, because I looked up from Screen Rant, and this might go alongside what we're talking about now. Alongside the Screen Rant said, alongside the monthly hike, Crunchyroll quietly introduced a limited time annual fan plan for $66.99 price, significantly lower with the average per month price at $5.58 a month. It offers a budget-friendly path for commuting fans willing to pay upfront. The deal effective undercuts the new monthly rate, creating an interesting choice between flexibility and savings.
Now you know what? That's a deal. That's a deal.
It
I
really
can't even
is, bro.
I can't even be mad no more, because that's a deal.
When I read that from Screen Rant, because Screen Rant is pretty reputable. They do a lot of movie stuff, they do a lot of TV stuff, they do a lot of anime stuff, gaming, they cross multiple things. When I read that from Screen Rant, I'm like, okay, so you're telling me for $66 a month, about $70, give
After
or
everything,
take,
yeah.
give or take, $66 a year, so $70 a year for the fan tier for that. That's not terrible, and you're saving about like you said, $5.58 a month.
And how much was it per month originally?
So $7.99 for the lowest tier, $11.99 for the middle tier, and
$11.99.
then
That's cool.
it was $15.99 for the high tier. But they're going from $9.99, $13, and $17 in
Yeah.
that order. So they're going up almost $2 from each other for each one.
Yeah, bro. That's crazy that people are upset about that.
I thought it was interesting because I'm
I'm
like, It's not
Disappointed because I
terrible,
don't want you raising your prices, Crunchyroll, after I just talked about how good you were compared to Netflix. But I can't be mad at you.
but it's not a terrible price hike. It's not like they're going from, like you say, 9 to 15, 11 to 21, and then 15 to 30. Like that's
Yeah,
not
that's
you're you're not
doubling the prices, Netflix. That was Netflix's
yeah you're
prices you just read off, right?
no, that's Crunchyroll's price. Yeah, Crunchyroll. That's Crunchyroll's hires now is the 9, 13, and 15. But they're not doing the Netflix way of making
Yeah,
the low end like 15, the middle end 18, and then the high end like
highest.
23. Like that's
The
yeah,
high
they're
for
not doing
Netflix, if I'm not mistaken, bro, it's close to like $30.
correct. It's close to 30.
Nope, you're wrong.
What is it now?
Because I play for a premium subscription and I share it with my mom and my sister.
Okay.
And I pay a total of $45 a month.
Are you paying the $5 to share
Yes.
that they make you pay to actually share an account? And you
So
Yes.
still get limited devices. So even if your sister and your mama at the same time are trying to watch, you cannot watch.
Actually, no, I don't get that problem because they do keep it by household.
okay,
Oh, but
I
it's
think
what
it's
is it? 2 devices per household?
No, I can have up to 6 devices per
prices per
household.
household.
Oh,
Per
you got the
household.
top tier.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
Well, okay. I'm gonna play devil advocate here, Chris. I'm gonna take out that $5 for multiple devices. That is still like $35 a month,
Bro,
and
Yep.
I'm
ultimately,
looking at 4 devices right now.
but remember they grandfathered a lot of people in. They did the whole. I think at the time, it's the same
Who
thing.
did?
Probably Netflix. It's the
Netflix
same.
ain't grandfather nobody. They hiked
Okay,
them prices up before you even knew it.
hold on. Let me explain.
Oh,
It's
okay, my
probably
bad.
the same. No, you're good. You're good. I see where you're going. It kind of reminds me of what they did with Game Pass. Going
You know what,
from
Brandon? I got a question that's gonna piss you off, but I got you. I got you.
going from what they started with to where they are now. The only difference is with where Xbox is gaining a lot more content over the couple of years they've done the price hikes. And yeah, the price hikes are not really ultimately always worth it. But ultimately, it is worth it because we buy like 3 games a year. You're spending about the same amount. Even with Netflix doing it, it didn't make sense because they were losing content quicker than they were gaining.
Uh-huh.
So ultimately, you're not gaining enough to make it make sense for you to keep Netflix around that long. On the flip side with Crunchyroll, I think Crunchyroll at least has enough there. So if they went up by $2 on each side on all of them, you still have a lot more content there. Even they've lost like things like Food Wars. They've dropped other things with licensing, which happens. Things happen. We know that. So it's not really a bad thing. Chris, go ahead and ask your question because I know you're about to ask me something.
So there was a surge. There was a surge of possibly banning VTubers in the United States.
Uh-huh.
Do you have any thoughts on this, Brandon?
It's still possible that it can happen too. That's why I haven't launched it.
I did see this, and the reason you're bringing this up, only reason I know about this is because one of the VTubers I follow on Twitter and still watch her from time to time from her YouTube channel, she canceled all of her dates in America for cons purposes because of some things which I didn't know what exactly happened. Okay, chaos is gonna ensue. Like chaos reign at this point. I feel like there's gonna be a double-edged sword here somewhere, and I don't know where it is. Like, on one hand, I'm not gonna even get into it. I'm not getting into it.
No, go for it, bro.
Go for it.
I'm not getting.
This is unfiltered. Go for it. Because
I'm not
Brandon,
getting
what I know how much you love them, and some of them are really really cool. But it's like the bigger tree that they're bringing towards them for even wanting to have the. And then Brandon, you and I know I haven't met a bad VTuber yet. So the fact that they're coming under fire for what reason? This is why I know you feel strongly about it.
And bro, it's specifically like Twitch VTubers.
Well, yeah, and it's also Amazon's platform, which is also kind of crazy. Um, it it, it kind of boggles my mind because it's the old adage of we like they like to have the popularity, the money, all that flowing, but ultimately they want to control it. And I kind of feel like now you want to control something that you couldn't control prior. But yet, it's also kind of funny because if you think about it, without a lot of the VTuber community on Twitch, Twitch wouldn't be the same way now as it used to be.
Okay, you right about that because I mean, Twitch wasn't that popular a few years ago. It really wasn't.
Dang. I think the other flip side of this coin, and it's something I thought about when like the Netflix, like Crunchroll hiking your stuff, Netflix, you're eventually gonna have a problem where the bubble's gonna burst, and you're not gonna have people that actually want to subscribe to these services anymore or bounce around. And Netflix is the, I think Twitch is the one where it's kind of like not necessary anymore.
I agree with that.
Like it. I figured you were gonna ask me about this, Chris. I figured you would. You saw the story. I didn't see no. I only heard one thing about it. I didn't see a story about it. I didn't see nothing. I saw one thing about it. That was it.
Because everything be on Reddit.
Yeah, I figured Reddit was probably catching up faster than actual mainstream media. I also feel like too. Eventually, if you're going to tell me that all these services are going to hit like $20-$25 a month for the top tiers, yeah, that's a definite bye-bye for me. No.
But that's going to be the way you're going to be able to see your VTubers though. You're going to have to pay that premium subscription to see them.
But see, at that point, Twitch will fall so fast, Chris. It wouldn't even make sense. Twitch would fall
Do
like a
you think
frog.
there'll be another platform that takes over for Twitch, or is it just bye tubers?
YouTube could take it over. YouTube could kind of catch up, gain a lot of those viewers.
YouTube is not promoting half of that stuff.
Well, yeah, you know, but
let's be real.
But you know what I'm saying there. But you know what I'm getting at there.
Their
Like,
guidelines are far stricter than Twitch.
but YouTube could go to save our brand. We could just do something good for the
Yeah, while they slowly diminish everything that they stand for. That's what they do.
Correct. So it's not like they have there's no good way to do this. And I also feel like too, I feel like now people are kind of acting like, how can I put this? I feel like people are acting just like, oh, the people aren't like they're making just sexy anime girls. No, there's people behind those. There's people behind those, the personas. Get to know the person. Get to know the people. You'll learn very quickly. There's sort of like nicest and very good people in that space. It's funny to me because it's no different than what we've seen through other forms of, entertainment, media, whatever you want to call it. Like, that's nothing new. But at the same time, it's kind of like they're fighting back at it. For what purpose? It's getting kind of annoying now because I think they want the content, but they want to regulate the content, and you can't do that. It's this, and I'll put it to you one other way that I like, Chris. It's the fact you regulate the content, but Crunchroll also regulates their content where all their adult stuff is kind of, or AA stuff is kind of at the bottom, kind of in the background. Can't find it. You have to search to find it. Like, that's stuff that's kind of just annoying, but they do it anyway.
I can see that. So what would
Yeah.
you do? So what would you do if you have to pay, I don't know, an extra $30 to $50 just to spend 10 minutes watching your VTuber?
If they ever did it per minute, that would just be bad. I would be. I think that would. I would just be gone from the platform at that point. But if they ever said we're going to raise the subscription price again to like $10 a month for the base for the low end, then that's something I would be like. At that point, I'm only picking the one I follow, and then I'd be done. Like that's just kind of like you're asking people to choose, and that's not really something people are going to do. Most people are just going to leave the platform straight up. Half the people won't even care anymore. They'll just be done with it and just be like, that era is done, as they say.
Gotcha.
It's funny, and you said it right off the bat. You were like, "Oh, I've never met a bad VTuber. You met a few," and it's like, no, they're really nice. Like that, you've met the few I've met, like I know of, and it's just like, I figured Reddit was gonna catch that story when I saw it on the YouTube, Twitter about somebody mentioned it. I'm like, oh, then there's something. Then Reddit's already kind of figured it out.
Yeah,
But Reddit's faster than most places. Reddit can figure something out in no time.
the biggest gossip, unfiltered gossip place that you can access outside the deep web.
Yeah. And the thing is, Twitch is owned by Amazon, so Amazon could keep it alive, but Amazon wouldn't keep it alive. They would just let it, after a certain point, just let it go bye-bye. Like there's no point for them to keep it alive if it lost that much revenue to them. I will say, good question. I was surprised you were gonna ask.
Hey man, I stay updated, but we can move on to the next topic though.
Yeah. Let's go ahead. Let's talk about the charts. I will say week 4 charts are kind of weird. I will say it's not the great. It's kind of odd what they did for week 4. We'll start off with this. Oshinoko season 3 is at 1, went up 2 spots. Hell's Paradise season 2 went up 5 spots to 2. JDK's episode season 3 went down 2 spots to 3. Fear and Beyond Your Hands went down 2 spots to 4. Seems to be a Hero went up 5 spots to 5. And You and I are polar opposites, stayed at 6. Tuning into the Midnight Heart dropped 3 spots, and Fate Strange Fake went up 4 spots to 8. And Tamio B-Side went up a spot to 9. And Playing a Death Game to Put Food on the Table went down a spot to 10. Chris, what do you think about these charts?
Bro, you know I don't really like ever since I learned about that stuff about Oshinoko, I can't under it. This is kind of lets you know people watch what they like and probably don't read a lot. But Harris Paradise though, oh my god, give me more, give me more. We gonna watch it here in a bit. Oh my goodness. Followed by Jujutsu Kaisen, yes, going ham. And Brandon, believe it or not, before I called you, I was actually catching up on Freerun. I finally found the courage just to keep watching it and stay with it. And you know what? It did surprise me. It had some moments that made me like say, "Whoa!" It just took forever to get there. It's like watching 25 minutes of story just to have 3 minutes of action. That's exactly what it was. But it was good though, nevertheless. These other ones, we know Sentence to Be Hero is on fire, bro. Like, man, like that was almost a show to watch. I've heard that Fate Strange Fake has been good. I don't know. But number 10, Shibuagi, that show is not getting enough credit, bro. That is arguably the most goriest show on TV right now.
More gory than JJK and Hell's Paradise overall?
They're like arguably because the way that they do it, they're getting away with it.
Okay. Yeah,
I know it. That's
that's
it's
the
a
one
compliment.
I'm
That's what it
wondering.
is. Go ahead.
One I think that's the one that's going to be interesting if it breaks the top 5. I think if there's going to be an episode that breaks the top 5, that's going to be the one that's going to do it. When and where, I don't know, but I think it will break the top 5 because I think if you're saying as good as it is, then something's wrong with being slept on this hard. It's at the top. It's barely at the bottom of the top 10.
But it's a lot of good shows right now, bro. Like the shows that are showing aren't bad. It's a lot of good shows right now.
I feel like too, if Sid's to be a hero and then even JJK and Hell's Paradise stay in top 5 or 5, Ko is gonna be that weird one where I think he'll stay in the top 5 no matter what happens. It's one of the strong. It's like a really rough story, and that story is very rough, very rough. Like something you don't need to be fully understanding or watching, but it's there. But we'll see. I wonder week 5, which came out today. We'll put it in our chat already, but we'll talk about it next week. I feel like week 5 is gonna really change this up because I did watch the next episode of JJK. Or no, I didn't watch JJK yet. I did watch Sid to be a Hero, which is really good, and I did Hell's Paradise is Sunday, so we'll see how that comes out. But other than those, I think the JJK was gonna be the interesting one because I don't know where they're gonna take that story. Because that story so far is interesting. Why the way they're gonna take it, I'm gonna have to kind of tell us. Go into the Reddit chart and let's see what that says.
All right. So as we look into the Reddit chart, which is different but similar, I don't know. Like these charts are doing something weird now, bro. So number 1, we actually got episode 2 of Free Run. 2, we have Jujutsu Kaisen. 3, Fate Strange Fake. 4, Hell's Paradise. 5, Oshinoko. 6, Sentenced to Be a Hero. 7, You and I Are Polar Opposites. 8, Shibuagi. 9, Journal with Witch. And 10, Medalist Season 2.
Yeah, okay.
Like, bro, it is some real interesting things going on with these charts right now. Like,
Fate
we
Strange
know
3. Sorry, Fate being 3 is interesting from Reddit. That kind of tells me that Reddit actually likes it. Hell's Paradise being 4, that tells me Reddit really likes that.
Mm-hmm.
And then having Sins to Be a Hero being 6, that means it's still in the top 10. So that's actually really good for it.
And then the fact that it's still right around the same size, that means people like it equally. Like, it is genuinely a good show.
Correct. Fire Force at 11. What was I need to look at what Fire Force is on the other chart. That's the one I think it's really not gonna do very, I think, well.
Well, you see what they had at 12.
Yeah, Chainsolder. I saw that. Which also kind of tells me I think Chainsolder and Fire Force are going to be in that weird 15 to 20.
Yeah. Bro, these shows are doing pretty good right now.
Which I think the thing that needs to be said, when you put a good amount of good heavy hitters or good hitters, but then you have a good amount of sleepers, the sleepers don't feel like they're going to get cannibalized by the big heavy hitters. Fire Force. Wait, is this week 3? Oh, whoops. Hold on. That's the other one. Wrong one. Chain Soldier's 11.
Yeah.
Fire Force is 13. So actually pretty comparable to Reddit. My Hero's 15. So yeah, that kind of tells you.
I wonder, I know we're starting to get a small following with our podcast. I wonder if our influencers are having anything to do with it. You go, guys.
I mean, I can see it if people actually listen and watch and kind of figure out what they like. I also feel like too that kind of tells you that those numbers are more in line with each other because Fire Force is 13, Giant Soldier 11, and it's 10 and 11 on the other chart. That tells you they're close.
But
It
I
also
think with
kind of
this, we
balances
can
out.
solidify a top 10.
Yes, yeah.
Now, where they are on that top 10 list, yeah, that we can argue about that. But the top 10, we know. We can say for certain.
Yeah. I feel like we're week 4. We're only a third way through the season because we have 12 weeks total, or 13 depending on the show. By week 6, the halfway point, we'll see where shows end up, because that will tell you who's going up and who's kind of going down. Let's get into the episodes. And like I said, we're gonna start off with Hell's Paradise. Hell's Paradise is the one we need to catch up on, and then we can catch up on Fire Force next week. Hell's Paradise episode 16, because we watched 15 2 weeks ago now. 16 and 17 kind of should go together because it kind of gives you the story of what's going on. Yeah, this story is weird, but it's weird in a good way. And episode 16 is the more impactful, but I think episode 16 is built off that impactfulness. Episode 16 is more impactful. Episode 17 is more that, like, finishing out that back half, but also giving us some new stuff in the second half. What we'll do, we'll just watch them straight through. So we'll watch 16, then go into 17 and we'll talk about the 17. This episode 16 in between going into 17. So that'll be the easy way to do it. I will say this: if you are not kind of a person that's into or can deal with them talking about, how can I put this?
Sex, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much. We're gonna film it, yeah.
Pretty much, because they legitimately do it. They do say it, and they
talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and all of that good stuff.
But they don't actually. When you look at the translation, when they write it out, it's not that. It's called something else. So it kind of be kind of confusing. And then I looked it up. It does what that does mean. So yeah, this episode
viewers' discretion advised.
There we go. But I will say the one thing about that scene, outside of that side, the storytelling in that scene is actually the best. I think the best part of it. The talking, the actual getting around the conversation, all that stuff is really good, and we'll explain that. But yeah, we're gonna get into that. I do thank Deon for joining us for the first half of that. That's actually really good that he got to do that. Maybe having some internet issues, but no worries there. Yeah, let's get into this, because I think Hell's Paradise is, if I had to make a tier list right now of these shows, it's Hell's Paradise 1, JJK 2, and Chance to Be a Hero 3. I think because the storytelling for Hell's Paradise has actually just been that strong.
Yes. Yeah.
But in a second, I will say 3, 2, 1, and then we get going. Chris, you ready?
Let's go.
All right, hold on 1 second. Let me get this back up.
Promise me if my TV is giving you feedback sound, just let me know.
I will. I'll let you know. It probably won't be. If it does, I can tell you. But if I need to be honest with you, wait till the halfway point to ask the question, but kind of think about it now, and you'll answer it at the half point. We do like week 6. Do you think so far this has been a well-rounded season? Don't answer it now. Or overall well-rounded anime season, since like we've gotten a good amount of different things and shows, but it's actually kind of helped out.
I won't say nothing.
Yep. All right, I'm at all 0. So in 3, 2, 1, go. By the way, we learned this is the only opening Mappa uses for. Only show Mappa uses the opening for. Nobody else. So kind of weird. So I can hear a little bit. I also will say, like, this is the only other opening I actually appreciate. Like, I feel like this opening song and just the way the art is just like they knew what they wanted out of the show. But also, this is one of those things I think we're gonna have to get into more just now. I think they're gonna save their big stuff for bigger shows, and once per year. But also, how do you do that without actually making it more non plus in that sense?
So it's really hard for me to hear you, so I'm trying to adjust my sound since I'm not on Xbox.
Okay. Oh, he's a maker of medicine, but he asked for her to tell him everything he knows about this island. Okay, and her, which is weird. That's a weird trade to do, but okay. Ooh. Would you consider this Gabby Marrow's training arc, Chris?
Man, I really hope they do some more character development with him, bro, because he really is like a little punk bitch.
Who, the purple hair guy?
Yeah.
I, I think they will. And I will say when we talk about the episode, this episode has like 3 plot points, so 3 stories they can go through, and it's going to be they're all different. But I think they're going to stick with all 3.
Still, though, they I just got to see it now, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But he's the one that's most likely they're going to stick with because his brother's still alive.
こいつらを覚悟を後手に僕が助けに行くよ。うざい。すげえ。同志とは比べ物にならねえ。何するっていいか。面白い。そのいびきの方面白いってな。10年間でも見たことのない。私の研究に
Bow, chicka, bow, bow.
Yeah, that's worth your session advice. But also, it's funny. This is the only part where they can switch between. But they told us about that earlier, surprisingly. By the way, the only thing about this scene I don't get, why is he tied up on a bed in a garden of all places? we back? I don't know where we are. Do we?
Where is one of the palaces or something?
That's what I assume, but we don't actually know like the exact place. We just kind of know it is one of the palaces or like the garden or whatever. You know.
触れることで相手の他を弱める総国。逆に相手の他を高める総司。おい、聞く。傍中術は互いの調和がなければ効果が薄い。何か好み、望みの作法はあるか？望みならある。質問に答えろ。この島は何だ？ある島で何してる？彼女の話では、天仙様もこの島も一人の人間が作ったものだそうです。大陸のとある高名な法師。
I love the fact that this scene kind of intertwines with the blonde-haired guys and other blonde-haired guys and kind of giving us the history of stuff. So he's giving us the story. We're getting the questions from the other the blonde-haired brother. So it's kind of like they built this in a way where it's like a story, telling a story without telling a story.
Yeah, they did.
そうして生まれたのは天仙。人と植物のタオを融合させた彼らは雌雄同体。運用によるタオの状況が一人でできる。本来生物が葛藤や時間により失うタオを天然感に。
I think you called. I don't know if you called this episode or episode 6, 17. You said there was going to be a season 3.
Huh?
I said I think I don't remember you called it this episode or episode 17 where you said there was going to be a season 3 of the show.
I think it's the next episode.
Yeah, where you said season 3. There's actually season 3 at this point because they were like the way they're telling us.
例えば、その薬など作る試みを外弾法という。天仙様はこれを作っているそうです。え、それって戦薬じゃん。やっぱあるの？研究中だそうです。彼らの言う担当は研究過程の試作品。人の命を密のごとく集め、他を、すなわち生命力を効率よく摂取する。他の人から奪った寿命を自分に付与するような感じでしょう。天仙様も単で命に流られている。タオの自給自足も完全ではないのでしょう。故に、短時間で急激にタオを失えば。
That explains why that when we saw the bodies on the first part of the island, they were not that, like they were all covered in leaves because the life force they couldn't handle.
Yeah. But then again, they didn't know as much as they know now either.
True, they did not. They were still learning.
すなわち、除服。真の時代は始皇帝に仕え、不老不死を求め、3000の士女と100の技術者を連れて、東方の海へと旅立ち、その後行方知れずとなった。およそ1000年以上前の人物です。まだ島のどこかで研究を続けているとか。ここは研究室で実験場。死の命を生成、観察するための箱にある。あの化け物どもみんな人工的に作られた生き物ってことか。そう。各々に実験上の目的がある。多くは不死者の営みを観察するため。同心は死の概念が薄い宝庫たちに道徳を教え、秩序を守る存在として、我々もまた被造物にするんだ。同志のタオと花のタオを掛け合わせた。一人であり別人でもあり、家族であり、私自身。そんな簡単にできるの？簡単ではなく、タオは命の選び。すべての夢を、塵のように甘みと充満し、世のすべての形作る。そこの項目、空気にタオの一つをする。故にタオを操るのは世の断りを操るに同じ。だが無機物と違い、生命を操るのは難しい。
So basically, there's Tao around everything.
お前のタオは貴重なのだ。研究したい。俺を使って研究して、島にいる人間すべて戦薬にするつもりか。 いいや、違う。今度の人間すべて。何そのための準備は整って、あとは完璧な単だ。協力するなら我々の仲間に加えてやる。単にはせず、共に先導を極める仲間としてね。
確かに選択はなんだ。今の俺じゃこいつにやるのは無理だ。逃げるのも厳しい。もっと優先すべきよ。なんだ。やってやるよ、方中術。これで他を使いこなせるようになるならな。だが、上に乗られんのは趣味じゃねえな。
心配するなら優しくしてやる。
状況には抗わず適応する。適応して、飲み込んでやる。See, it was brought to jutsu to her, but not to him.
素晴らしい。
Not to him. That's why that line where he says I don't like to be bottom also kind of gives that away too.
これはどういうことですか？
I love the fact that we go from that scene to a lovely to now like a heartwarming scene. It's kind of like, okay, you knew what you were doing.
They're keeping the same emotional. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
最初壊されたから。リエンと私、修復送信のプラン、最初にです。でも、リエン変わった。階段を見たの、たくさん殺した。
やはりそうだ。
このままじゃ、姉さんが。
私のタオを使うといい。ペンセン様はタオを自在になれる。生物のタオを見切
Do
り
down a little bit more,
自分
by the
の
way.
タオにすることができるはず。
のことが。でも、宝庫様。
いいんだ。ねえ、私はもうすぐ受かる。それにこれは食材なんだ。食材。彼女と出会ったのは数
Yes,
百
he
年
knows
前。
the tree. That's why he gives up his stuff so easily. And like he says, his wife and daughter passed already.
村の者を次第に受化して、私は一人になった。そして、ついにその時が来た。都市学校に出ただけ。それだけだが、娘に見えた。私の幼い娘に。本当は、いや、彼女が何か異質な存在だということ。本当は島を出たがっていること。すべて無視した。家族の前をつけてしまった。どうか許してほしい。私は君ではなく、娘の見て。数百年も私の嘘に未練に付き合わせた。They didn't have to hit these levels of emotions, bro. Huh?
I said there was no other way. You got to hit the level of emotion to make it make sense. And it feels so real. Chris, what do you think about that episode? That episode hits the heartstrings like crazy. Because if you look at it, it's two sides of the coin. One side is to learn how to gain the power of the elixir of life, which is actually real now. We know that. The other side is the fact that Mia could have died, but the tree saved her like his own daughter. Where do we head from here?
I mean, well, so we know that the time is real, so it's like, okay, we still need to go get it. Like, because there's still, we don't get a normal life without going back without it.
Fair, I agree with that, but the way they explained they had to use humans to see if the tau can actually be reproduced in the body, and most people who tried to do it died or passed or just got assimilated into the island. It's basically it's basically like a life or death situation at that point. Like, it feels like you have to be very strong in your tau to actually make it make sense. But I don't think anybody's that strong yet.
Well, but I mean, even our main character say he's close to figuring out a way to kill him. So.
Say as we're getting into the next episode, because they're kind of showing this next stuff up. But what would you give episode 16 for a rating?
I'm going to give it an 8.5 because that emotion did kind of hit.
Okay. I would tend to agree. 8.5, 8.6. That's where it is at. The explanation in the middle worked out really well. I really feel like that explanation kind of gives you where the story could end up. This episode here is really going to give you that story where it's going to end up, because the ending of this episode is going to actually really go, oh, something's off, and why.
Right. Yeah, see, this is when you start saying, yeah, there might be a season 3.
Yeah. And it's funny, they tease this at the end of this episode, so they kind of tell you that they're like, oh, he's coming in this episode 17. How we get there is going to be kind of interesting. Oh, also, viewers should advise that this episode too, because one scene in this episode on the boat that's really kind of gross, but it's gross not in a bad way. It's gross in like a horror way. Not really great.
Viewers' discretion is once again advised.
Yeah, it's bad. It's not terrible. It's bad. I also feel too, if you didn't do the scene with the blonde-haired guy and the purple-haired girl, then your context is lost, because the blonde-haired guy samurai information doesn't make sense if you didn't do that. So it kind of like I said, it's a question and answer thing. The blonde-haired guy asked the questions to the purple-haired girl. The blonde-haired samurai is explaining those questions that she's getting answered, but also explaining to their group. So it actually works out in the end. I feel like it's going to be. It's really weird. We haven't really had a big battle yet. That's the one thing I will say. We haven't had a big battle yet. We've had one battle, but between the blonde-haired guy and Genmaru. Outside of that, and we've had the battle between the blonde-haired guy and one of the gods, the purple guy / girl god. Outside of that, we haven't had nothing else. When's our next going to be? I think the thing is, after this episode, they kind of tell, and I'm not going to fully spoil it, but they give you some things you could see coming down the road. What do you think that next big battle is going to be? Because the next big battle is the big thing that everyone want to see.
It's going to be the facing off of one more of those Tensen guys behind you.
Yeah. I also like the fact that we have to Gavin Martin and Clan coming to the island as well. We haven't fully seen yet. I was gonna say that mask looks something like Demon Slayer, by the way.
Huh?
That mask looks something like Demon Slayer.
Oh yeah.
The guy that ninja guy's mask with the opening with the hole that has the little hole coming through it.
I really like to think that was their way of giving their nod to them.
Oh yeah, I could believe that. I could absolutely believe that. It's like a disrespect. I'm also going to make a bold prediction for episode 7 later on this series. I'm just going to say this outright. Purple-haired samurai guy is going to die first.
I hope not. He's kind of my favorite guy.
He's funny and he's just kind of out there, but I think for some reason, I think they would try to kill it. He would die quickest because he's the one to be there. And this is where viewer discretion is advised.
皆さんも失礼ですよ。またなしまってきよ。お前もな、おい。こいつら大丈夫か。いやいやいや。多様なことでお侍様がいがみ合ってはいけません。我らのことにお気づきに。いえ、忍びの命はある日に。このお役目では山本になる。お金なら、どうぞ誰にもご質問ください。そのまま別にか、奴隷にいたしましょう。主に注意を示すため。ならお前、見ててよ。忍びの中心。わかりました。
Oh, he asked for it. That's why he does it. Oh, that's disgusting.
とりゃんせ、とりゃんせ。ここはどこの細道じゃ。天神様のだ。
Oh my. One of the most disgusting scenes in the whole episode. I forgot he asked for it.
Yeah.
もうよい、手に戻れ。すごい覚悟。もうわかんない。いいだって。お役目に入り込んで神丸を殺す。まさか提供で資格な殺す前にかようなお役目にとは思わなかった。お主の役を殺さねば手締めもつくまい。赤手や神丸を殺せ。お主の命はそのためだけに使え。いいもちろんさ、あんなやつが天理で。だから罪人だ。千夜と同じです。今日、島にいる罪人はどうするの？被害人は発見しない。全員死亡。まさかみんな俺のせい。
So the head of the ninjas thought Gabimaro would have been dead at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like he failed the mission, but then they say they were already hunting him too.
Yeah. It's a weird thing because the mission was trying to get the elixir of life, so
もっともっと、よし。誰一人変えるんでしょう。追加情報。あ、以前は、レイさんがバックの命令なんです。シュウ君なら次第にも盗賊できるですね。そのスギャンとやつは見つかります。ええ。山田家でも一番にいる。一辺天敵の一流。一流ってだけじゃこの島は生き残れねえぞ。 青とかいうページなんだよね。ページが違う。自然なら、青を認識できているはず。共にテープする中で、私の持つ感覚に気づいた。
By the way, how do they explain that he's back? How do they explain that she's back small again?
The dude the wood dude sacrificed the rest of himself for.
And that made her back to her normal small. Okay, I was assuming
Yeah.
that was the case, but that wasn't really explained. So like,
Yeah,
like,
they didn't explain it very well.
yeah.
They
I
just
know
had
like
that
so she don't turn into a tree. But I'm like, okay, I think she'll stay more the adult. But now, I love the fact this guy is not a sword guy. He's more like, I am basically your version of a dude that can take all the hits, and I'm still gonna just break your arms off. Yeah.
そんなに強いなら頼もしいな。なんかあるの先生。私、知ってるかも。山田は対面試験して、例の事件だったでしょ。事件問題でも起こしたかいいね。実際問題というわけでは。ただ、少し厳しすぎるところが。何の事件だ私も聞いただけですが、江戸の有能な役で、リング立家の親分が捕獲された時に、各地の部下たちの所在をやる役人も手を焼いていたそうです。そこに呼ばれた主言というのは、すでに捕まっていた部下を目の前で斬首し、全部手をはかり、見つかった部下も含め、リング立家20名。その様を一着お喜びになった将軍さんで、特別な試験、名刀を振りぶつかめ合っていたのは、幕府内でも影響力を持っています。
So basically, rewatching this, he's basically no nonsense. He don't care what happens. He's just gonna do what he has to do.
Yep. Mission based. Mission first.
Yeah, mission first. Everything else later. I love the line from those two. Like, I'm gonna marry him. Nope.
Mhm.
She don't give a toss about the dude. Which explains.
彼女の素晴らしい技前を認めないなら、もう自らの断言に誇れません。頭は硬いけど、優しい人なんです。杉野さん、怪我は時々我々も。幕府の目をあくまで監視してくれ。お前たちの手をそれ以外で減らす必要はない。たちは兄弟子に任せてください。
You know, it's funny. I said he was brash and kind of ruthless, but also I have to give him something. They all gave him that weird. It's weird to give him this because it doesn't really make sense for the character. He's kind of a ladies' man in that sense as well, and like that gives away. Or the lady main character gives away.
And then
he cares about the ladies and he'll help them, but also he doesn't really care about much else. Oh, he killed. No, never mind. He is ruthless. He killed everyone. Oh wow. Okay, never mind. He just destroyed everybody. Yeah, that's the part. Like, no, that's not always true. And he does that, no problem.
来年の川は買い物に出ると。そう。島の状況を知る。なるほど。
Yeah, bro, just lost his mind. Yep.
And there's where he lost his marbles. His marbles have just gone
Yep.
out the window.
さまざまな罪を対面すること。両親を殺した人間はまだ捕まっている。いつかこいつの首を垂れるかも。山田左衛門は痛みも感情も排した一手を理想とするとか。理解できません。でも下手な方がいい。何度も切り込んで首が打って。苦しくて死ぬでしょ。歯を潰してギザギザにしておくのもいい。無駄だ。私がといた。憎しみをすでに消すのです。ここで教わり、教えるうちに向き合い方が分かる。それでも歯を潰したいのに潰された。何度でも私を。いつも美しい歯を埋めていく。たっただけ。奇妙な練習だ。化け物にしている人生に今日読む神経に従う二人のまた、それほどのことという。いや、夢の夢はこの男も、腹の内がまるで山。可愛いね。だ、野菜に出しるから、危険なしまう。これもとって気になる。
And I wish we saw more of this fight when it happened, but then I like the fact that it's just a quick thing.
私にその権限はない。天仙様にお伺いをかける。勇士の苦しみ。まだまだいるよ、キューちゃん。素晴らしい技前です。では、真ん中に。腹数、どいていくね。暴露組、石風呂組、行け。個々の力は山田様にはかなわぬでしょうが、忍びは分岐し、複数でことを出してみる。個の力は数の力に触れ、憎さり英雄の数にはかないません。これが個で起こる原因の戦いよ。原因。
How long is the mourning process for this?
Yeah, I guess that he reads his prayers and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. And did it without even thinking about it.
獣。いや、この島にいる生き物すべて、皆殺しにしてやる。なるべく苦しませて。いいだろう。お前は殺して手土産に。私や地点に昇格するためのだ。
So, yep, they're all dead. Plus, the guy he's fighting against is just,
限界がある。これからする質問に返答がない。あるいは気に入らぬもの。そうだ。まずは貴様の中に、組織的なものなら詳細を説明して。いいよ、ども。時間の無駄だ。まあ、修理や。新種の化け物も出たことだし、この辺で一旦本土へ王国に戻らんか。どうある。あなたにただ帰りたいだけでしょ、実家殿。今も刀を抜きませんでしたね。抜けない。知ってるだろう。抜けるでしょ。知ってますよ。
I love the fact he calls out he didn't even draw his sword.
すみませんでした。赤黒は兄弟子に失礼な限り。ああ、いいよ、いいよ。何してんの。こういうところは可愛いんだけどね。だが、落とし前もつけて帰れば、ね、エーゼン殿の名誉も傷つくことになる。今の正義が死滅され、山田門下に手を出せばどうなるか知らしめる。そのためにも情報を必須する。主元様、訪問人の旅を忍びにお任せください。
The torture and
そのよう
interrogate.
には濃い青に。その作用で島の移転は察知できても、上陸者の正体まではわからない。ごめんなさい。皆さんともに、新たな上陸者。時間を立ててややこしくなる。ここから先は、縦に分かれた方がいいと。戦略を取りに行く範囲と脱出経路を確保する。じゃあ、私行け。脱出経路確保なんだ。ねえ、言っていたけど。どちらにしろ蓬莱のない方。
川から出たらいいじゃん。海にも化け物がいるよ。
温泉入ってきてます。私の聞いた通り。
Earth, wind, fire, metal. And that is episode 17. And I feel like now there's one clear thing about this story. Is the fact now we have, and this will be the last episode we do for today, the fact that we have 3 clear-cut things. We have the blonde-haired guy and him assimilating to the clan. We have the new samurai guy and him on the island, and then we have the gods and the deities themselves. This episode is kind of weird because I don't think this episode really gave us any more story, but it gave us a clear-cut goal. Because the guy that's blind pretty much said it's a final chance to get everything and get out. It leads us to believe this is the last straw, the ending of this series. But if you do it right, you can make it feel longer. Basically, I'll break this down Cliff Notes wise. We start the episode where we see the Gabby Morrow them talking after May gets healed and everything, trying to figure out a plan what to do next. Then we see the new samurai and his group on a ship heading this way. We get to see the ninjas, and the ninjas have to help with the samurai. And we get a little weird thing because ninjas aren't really there to help them. They're really just there to get Maru and finish him off because he's not really done his mission and being in control. At the same time, one of the samurai shows loyalty by doing the whole neck thing, which is kind of gross, but works out in favor because it makes sense. Then we get in the island, and right off the main guy just becomes a badass. He doesn't even care. He just goes ham. He gets upset. He doesn't really get upset. He's like, I do this for people I care about, and I do care about the blonde-haired girl. He cared about our girl in the other group, but also when he's ruthless, the blind guy says he can be ruthless. He killed 100 people before just to do it. He sees his old master be dead. He goes on a rampage. They kind of calm him down, and then kind of story kind of went out from there. The ending of this episode basically is 2 things. One, they're coming into the island to get the elixir of life and finish off what their mission was, to keep their family name and everything. The other group is like, we need to get out, get the elixir, and escape. How are we going to do that? We'll figure that out on the way. And then they show you this final scene of blonde-haired guy, the deity, the purple-haired deity, and our new guy on the island. All 3 in this split screen shot. And you hear the blind guy says, "This is our final chance to do something." Kind of believing to lead us to we're gonna have a 4-way fight basically, with the elixir, and kind of finish out everything. Chris, what do you think about this episode?
See, this episode was a lot of information, and then they kind of went into showing a different direction and a different mind frame of our characters. And then we were introduced into more characters, which gives it a bit more story to flesh out. The only question now is how long are these guys going to last? Because, they're out from Gabimaru's clan, but that don't mean they're going to last as long as he has. And then she actually said this, what they do is that a bunch of weaker ones will gang up. That's the only way that they can win. So, I like that they gave us a completion for the end of the last season, and then slowly start giving us more stuff for this season that looks like it can even go into a 3rd season. So I'm enjoying this.
Do you think that if this is the last season, do you think they rush through the last 3 fights we're going to get? Basically, we're going to rush through the blonde-haired guy getting through the towel, getting assimilated to the towel, and getting all that done. We're also going to kind of rush Gabby Morrow and the girl getting back into the place and beating up the deities. But also, we have the new player, the new samurai, coming on the island and finishing his mission. Because at this point, I think you don't rush that. Take your time and let it play. Let it play out. But the only problem is, if you let it play out, you could slow the story down too much. I don't know where's the balancing there.
That's a good question. I mean, but as long as the story doesn't split like it does in some of our other animes, I mean, I think it should be okay.
Okay. Um, I will also say too, it is interesting. We don't really see it, but I think it's gonna be interesting. The purple-haired guy, the brother of the blonde-haired guy that's in the clan already, is following our main character and all the other characters in that section, and he wants to learn from the one-armed samurai dude. So, if that story is not told, I hope they at least give us a context of how he's done with his training, a little bit here and there, not all the time, but a little bit here and there, and how much that training's actually really matter. I so far this story has been good. This story's been amazing. Season 2's been really good. I can't say anything about it. I'm looking forward to episode 5 on Sunday. See where we head. I think episode 5 will start off with our blonde-haired guy that's already in the clan, showing him fully getting assimilated, showing all that kind of stuff, and then we kind of kick back to the new samurai that's in the black-looking samurai gear. What would you give this episode for rating, Chris?
I'm gonna give this one a 9.1. This was good. They gave us action. They gave us plenty of story. Even gave us a bit of other extras. And bro, like this is a good story, bro. Like this, like I can imagine myself sitting down and reading the manga and like just to enjoy it.
Yeah, the manga's the thing I always thought about. Like the manga, if the manga's like this, yeah, I can sit down and read this because it's interesting. It tells a good enough. It tells a story that's really fun. It explains the world too as well. The world's actually really well explained for the most part. Like I do, like I said with the Mina thing, like with the becoming a little kid again, they don't really explain it, but you're assuming it's from the tree sacrificing life. It's fair. I'd be okay with that, but kind of explain it more.
Right.
I'll agree with you. I'll give it a 9. Like a 9. Yeah, 9. It deserves that. Next week we'll go episode 17 of Hell's Paradise, and then we'll do episode 16 of Fire Force. We'll be back on track, basically just one episode behind for Fire Force. Yeah, this was an interesting Friday version of the podcast. We don't do this very often, but we're trying to catch up, and good time for us to catch up because we're all around, and I appreciate Deon joining us for that first half. That was good to get him the news side because y'all are both good with the news stuff and talking through it, which actually makes sense. I know a lot of people like that, just kind of letting us be ourselves for that, and then just keep up with these animes. I think so far these animes this season have been strong. Can they keep that momentum? We're only at week 4. Week 5 is this week, and then week 6 is going to be next week. By the time we get to week 6, is that momentum going to stay pretty strong? We'll see. But we will see you next Tuesday. Like I said, next Tuesday is going to be episode 17 or 18 and 16 of Fire Force, 16 of Fire Force, 18 of Hell's Paradise. We might not have much news because news are going to get kind of slow right now. That's a little bit I'm finding some news stories, but those have been the small ones right now. If I find anything between now and then, we'll talk about it. If not, we'll talk about the charts, and then we'll get through 3 episodes. We can definitely get through 3 episodes and really catch up fully overall. But I do thank Chris and Deon for joining me. I do thank you for watching. Hope you did enjoy. This will go up. I'll put this up. It'll process on Spotify tonight. I'll render it out tonight and process it for Saturday morning. So it'll go up on Saturday for y'all to watch on YouTube. So look forward to that. But I do thank you for watching. Hope you enjoy. Hope for next time. See you.
Y'all have a good one.